All right, welcome to a very quick tutorial here. And in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to identify volume imbalance as taught by ICT concept, because it was from his video that I learned this particular concept. All right. And this is in response to question I've received or gotten over times from the private community and sometime on one-on-one section regarding this volume imbalance. Please note, whether you are trading the synthetic markets, the forex markets, or the future markets, these price actions are evident everywhere. And the idea is price normally return back to fill those volume imbalance before continuing the actual movement. But mind you, this volume imbalance, I don't use it for direction. It is strictly and practically for what? Trade execution. Okay, so today we are going to identify them on charts, and let's go right into it. Now, if you look at these candles here, you can see that these are bullish candle upward, and what? These are what? Sorry, excuse me. And these are what? Bearish candle downward, right? What then is the idea behind this volume imbalance? If you check well, once a candle closes, take for example, this particular candle close here, it is expected that the next candle open up exactly from this point and what? Possibly trade back a little bit, then continue, right? Now, in some cases, once orders are being launched at the start of that particular candle, the candle normally go to open up, either up or below where it's supposed to open from, and therefore leaving a gap behind. More often than not, these gaps are mostly filled by what? Wicks of the next candle, right? So it is from body to body of a candle that will determine what? Volume imbalance. Take for example, if you look at the closure of the body of this candle, it closed here, right? And what? The second candle what? Open up here, right? Meanwhile, it's supposed to open up here to close that what? Gap. And the order was launched and the candle open up here, leaving this gap behind. Although it goes to close this gap with a wick, right? Now, the gap between the body of this candle and the body of this candle is what is being referred to as what? Volume imbalance. And more often than not, price normally return back to refill this volume imbalance, sometimes break below, then what? Continue what? The overall direction. And sometimes it return back to fill it and continue what? In the overall direction. What I do, once this volume imbalance is identified, after working down my top-down analysis perspective, all right, I go to execute trade exactly at this point. Okay, so without wasting time, let's head straight to chart to see or to go and identify them. And I strictly use them on the 5 minute and the 5 minute downward, right? 5 minute downward. So if you go to 5 minutes, you're going to see it everywhere. Okay. Now, everywhere. The first place I saw this volume imbalance is here. Look at the wick of this candle and the wick of this candle. If you check well, there is a what? A gap. Probably let me zoom it well so that you can see properly. There is a gap. And at some point, price return back to refill that gap, right? And what? Shoot down. That is in a bearish case. If you look well again, I told you I strictly use this volume gap for what? Entries. That's what I use it for. Now, this is on the rare cases. You see this place, there is no gap here. There is a gap here, but the gap was what? Left with empty. Price return back to refill it and what? Continue the downward what? Movement. Look at another gap here. This is another volume imbalance, right? Price return back to refill it and continue what? The overall what? Direction. And they are everywhere, anywhere at all. Let me go back in time and see, right? You can see here, what is it? A gap. You can see the volume imbalance here. Price return, refill it what? And continue. At some point, price will then return back to refill that volume imbalance before the overall what? Direction. You can see it here. Look at this, does not even have wick. This is a 100% assurance that is what? Coming to refill it. Okay. So at some point, price come to refill the volume gap before the continuation. You can see one here. You see that price come back, fill it here, right? Then there is a reaction all the way from what? There upward. And they are everywhere. So if you want me to make a complete video on how to use it for your trade entries and execution, you can just do me well by dropping a comment in the comment section, and I'll do justice to that. A top-down analysis perspective. You can see this is another volume imbalance. And price does what? Return back here, refill it, and what? Continue. This is what? Another volume imbalance. You can see how price return back, have a reaction, and continue. They are everywhere. All right. This is what? Another volume imbalance, right? Price refill it and continue. This is another one, although trust me, everything is not always being filled. It's not always as it ought to be, but 99.9% out of the time, price return back to refill the volume imbalance before what? The actual movement. What is this volume imbalance? Price return back, refill it and what? Continue the what? The movement, right? They are everywhere. Go to Forex pairs and all that, they are there. I've checked in, backtest it and all that. They are everywhere. So you can go to your charts and identify them, possibly use them for your what? Trade entries and what for your trade entries, and you will see how effective they are. You can see there's one I just see here, see another volume imbalance, and price come back to refill it. They are everywhere, right? See another one here, volume imbalance, price refill it, and these things are evident there. You only need to add little tricks to it and you'll be good to go, okay? So thank you for tuning in today. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification in order not to miss the next content that will be coming up. I really appreciate. And till next time, keep practicing. Peace out.